The next two people that I'd like to introduce are Jeremiah and Amy Jukes. And Jeremiah was 19 when he was diagnosed with testicular cancer. And they are now happily married, and they are both here to tell their story of how they are pursuing parenthood. Can you check and see if your microphone's working?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't tell if it is or not, but anyways, good. So, I'm Jeremiah Jukes. I come from a family of 11 kids, so I was kind of bred with thinking I'd have a ton of babies, and so was Amy. She comes from a family of 6 kids as well, so our goal was to have many children, but that's certainly seen some hindrance now. But I was actually 18 at Brigham Young University, and I was diagnosed with cancer and had surgery on my birthday, an orchiectomy on my birthday, in 2005 when I turned 19. So it was I was pretty young. I think I was just crossing the pediatric cancer border and kind of on both sides of the fence there. But I went through 3 months of radiation following that, and was declared cancer-free on August 16th, 2005. At least, I don't know all the technical terms, but at least for that moment, I keep having to go back all the time to be declared once again. So anyways, it's been a very interesting and unexpected ride, obviously, to be diagnosed with cancer when you're young. I was told to go bank sperm. I didn't know really anything about fertility. I didn't anticipate having an issue, obviously, and so I didn't know anything. A guy says, go bank sperm, so I went and did it. I did it once. I've learned since then I probably should have done it more. I didn't know, but that's all I was told to do it by the urologist. So we got married just over a year ago, or just under a year ago, 11 months ago, and knew from the very beginning, obviously, that there was a high likelihood of having fertility challenges. And so since then I've been going through that process. Amy knows a whole lot more about that process than I do, and I think for those who go through this process, that's probably usually the case. A woman knows all of the terminology and deals with the doctor a lot more, which is kind of unfortunate. I'm the one who went through cancer, and she has to deal with the consequences more than I do at this point. So she's going to talk a little bit more about that process and kind of share what we've been through.
So yeah, I dealt a lot more, obviously, with the doctors, and also a lot more because I'm actually still finishing my nursing degree at Brigham Young University, and so the last 4 months, last semester, we spent apart. He was down here working, I was living up there, and going through this IVF process. So it added another very interesting element. But it all got started when, you get married, more responsibilities. We had to take over the payments for his sperm storage at the University of Utah. And so we're like, well, let's even see if we need to pay this bill because it was expensive. So just went to a basic outpatient clinic and got a semen analysis, I think. And they basically told us that we had 100% immotility, basically. No shot, no sperm, we're good. And that was a really big blow. We'd been married 2 months or something, 2 or 3 months, which we now look back as a huge blessing because it helped us start our journey. And as the doctors have said, and as I've been told, the woman's age is the biggest factor. So got that tested and decided to just jump on this as quickly as we could. Obviously, the issue of cost was huge, but as we were trying to figure out how we would figure that out, we realized that the company he had gotten a job with happens to have insurance based out of Massachusetts, which we found out covers IVF. So that was also a very big blessing and allowed us to move forward with our plans much earlier than we ever expected. We went to a reproductive specialist and basically went through the IVF process. We found out specifically more about his numbers and found that he basically 1% of his sperm was usable, not 100%. And we did have the stored vial. So just in February, we did an ICSI IVF cycle, and because I also found out that I have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which you can get pregnant with, but just means that there's a lot of follicles. And during that process, I got what's called hyperstimulation and didn't allow us to actually implant. So right now we have 6 embryos stored, and will in the next few months hopefully be able to implant them and see where that goes. So.